chance you can do something amazing. Just feel your passion blazing and shine.
Yeah, play with every vision and dance in new directions. Explore the new heights in your mind. I will rise up with you today. Lift up my voice and boldly say, we are the ones we've been waiting for. Let's all sing it. Live a dream of your highest calling. Be the hope of a new day dawning. We're the ones who can make a difference. Let's stand together. Change with the world that's waiting for a change that we're all creating. It's a moment for our greatness. Let's stand together now. Yeah, let's stand together. Hey, repeat after me. One dream, one voice, one heart, one world, one dream, one voice, one heart, one world, one dream, one voice, one heart, one world. Live the dream of your highest calling. Be the hope of a new day dawning. We're the ones who can make the difference. Let's stand together. Shake this with the world that's waiting for a change that we're all creating. It's a moment for our greatness. Come on, let's stand together now. Highest calling. Yeah, hope that a new day dawning. We're the ones who can make a difference. Let's stand together now. Shake this with the world that's waiting for a change that we're all creating. Moments for our greatness. Let's stand together now. All right, remain standing as you're able. Let's go right into our next song. I am so thankful for every blessed moment, and I live in gratitude. My heart is open, my spirit is rejoicing, and I live in gratitude. I give my thanks to God. 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 I am so thankful for every blessed moment, and I live in gratitude. My heart is open, my spirit is rejoicing, and I live in gratitude. I give my thanks to God. 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 All right. So great to hear you all singing out there. This is the time we get to say hello. Say hello to somebody you know. Say hello to somebody you don't know. Say hello to those folks watching from home. We are glad they're with us too. Hello. I know, right?
All right. Go ahead and make your way back to your seat. Sit down and get comfy. We'll sing our last congregation song. By grace I live, by grace I release, by grace I forgive and return to peace. By grace I live, by
Good morning. Let's have a moment of prayer. As we come together in mind on this beautiful autumn day, we are witnessing transformation all around us. The days are growing shorter, the leaves are beginning to turn, the time is changing, the temperatures are dropping. These are all, and of course, our animal friends are getting their brand new fur coat for winter. These are all external changes powered by internal systems. And we too can have a transformation this holiday season by changing our internal thoughts and beliefs and actions. Recognizing our oneness and wholeness, and as an expression of God, we are filled with an outpouring of gratitude. As we ready for the holiday season, we call on all of our inherent divine powers, love, compassion, joy, and peace. These things, qualities that we already have, and in fact, qualities that we already are. Let them shine forward. And for this and many, many other limitless blessings, and for our tremendous opportunities, we say thank you, thank you, thank you. And so it is. Amen.
Let's affirm our first two, excuse me a moment, here we go. Let's affirm our first two unity principles together. There is only one presence and one power in our lives and in the universe: God, goodness, omnipotence. We are God expressing such inherent goodness. And our mission statement? We teach and live universal truth, unconditional love, and abundant life.
Good morning. The absolute word for today is grace. Our affirmation is, I offer grace to myself and others. Let's say this together. I offer grace to myself and others. If I'm feeling overwhelmed or find myself in conflict, I don't need to struggle. I remember to be kind and offer grace to myself and others. Grace is manifested from the principles of love, benevolence, and generosity. Grace is goodwill or favor, even when it seems undeserved. Grace is traditionally understood as God's goodwill for the unworthy. However, when we realize grace is really something we offer to ourselves and others, we're free to lavishly share it. We're all human, we all err from time to time. This is when we offer grace and kindness instead of criticism and punishment. When I offer grace, I am at peace. My thinking is clear, and I possess ample understanding, compassion, and insight. I bring harmony and joy to my relationships. I move forward with renewed confidence, energy, and efficiency. Today's scripture verse is from 2 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 9. He said to me, grace is sufficient for you, for power is made perfect in weakness. The affirmation again, I offer grace to myself and others. Together, I offer grace to myself and others. Thank you.
Okay. Well, many hearts and hands work diligently to ensure that this community thrives. This week, we applaud our tech team, who really make There Is No Time or Space to Spirit a reality. I also want to thank our board members. I am profoundly grateful for your service to my church home. Unity Fort Worth volunteers helped at the monthly Four Saints mobile food pantry yesterday. We are very thankful for our members who let their Christ light shine by giving of their time in service of those in need. Board nomination period is officially open until Sunday, January 15th of next year. Both Nancy and Judy have agreed to serve for another term, so there's no need for us to find candidates at this time. However, all members are welcome to nominate a candidate, or for those who meet the requirements can self-nominate. If you feel led, you're welcome to run against any current board members. Next Sunday is the last day of our annual toy drive. Donations are being collected at the table in the foyer. A list of shopping ideas can be found there or on the Unity Fort Worth webpage under the Service tab. Today is the last day for donations to our silent auction. Items will be on display for the next 2 Sundays. Winners will be announced during the Christmas concert on December 11th. Check out our webpage at unityfortworth.org/silent-auction or scan the QR code for more information. Our fundraiser committee is meeting today. Please join us at 12:45 in the Blue Room next to Fellowship Hall. We will be planning events for the coming year. This Saturday, November 26th at 10 a.m., we will be decking the halls for our upcoming holidays. Bring the family and a snack for some fun activities to beautify our sanctuary and a community lunch afterwards. Don't let your Thanksgiving leftovers become a science experiment in your refrigerator. We have a special Thanksgiving leftover potluck on Sunday, November 27th. Bring what you got and share with the rest of us. Be sure to save the date, December 11th. It's our Christmas choir concert at 2 p.m. The concert will be both in person and online. Love offerings to support our music team will ensure many more concerts to come and are greatly appreciated. Well, we've reached the end of the announcements for today. Now, here are the Unity Singers to uplift and inspire you with some beautiful music.
The world is full of beautiful things, if only we take time to enjoy them, God's own creation.
Creatures great and small, all things wise and wonderful, the Lord God made them all. Each little flower that opens, each little bird that sings, He made their glowing colors, He made their tiny wings. All things bright and beautiful, all
Well, good morning again. When Jean-Marie first asked me to give the Thanksgiving talk, I said, sure, that'll be great. I'm thinking, wow, that should be a no-brainer because it's even in Thanksgiving, giving thanks. And I said, and we talk about gratitude all the time. And then I went, oh yeah, we talk about gratitude all the time. We have gratitude lists. We keep gratitude journals. It's part of our prayer. It's part of our meditation. On and on. I thought, what more can be said about gratitude? What could I possibly add to gratitude? So I'll ask you, how many of the 52 Sundays in the year do you think we talk about gratitude in some form or another? What do you think? I'm going with 52, yeah. But then I reasoned, we all do need reminders to be grateful because it's very easy to get wrapped up in our busy lives and concentrate on things that we don't have, especially here at Christmas time with holiday season, with all the commercialization. Well, we can't get that, and I don't have that, or I can't go on that vacation like those people flying to Bahamas or something, or I don't get to do that anymore in my life. There are a lot of reasons. We can be the best people in the world, but we're human too, and, we can get wrapped up in our life. And for some, it's easy to get depressed over the holidays for a variety of reasons. Maybe feeling lonely, or grieving, or just feeling separate. And our hearts go out to all of those people in that situation. And many people feel that they don't have enough money for the holidays, and that can be depressing too. But for those who do celebrate Thanksgiving and Christmas, there's just a lot to do, isn't there? There's just a lot to do. Even if you swear every year you're not going to do much, you end up doing a lot, probably. There's food to shop for and to prepare. There's gifts to buy. You might put up decorations. There's entertaining. And you may be around a lot more people than you're used to. Our schedules can get off kilter. And so it's not that hard to get to overdo and get kind of overwhelmed. One thing I want to remind us, I know you're aware of it, but it's so important to keep our spiritual practices of meditation and prayer during this holiday time. And if you don't have a regular practice, now is a great time to institute one. I wanted to remind you about the resource page that we have on our own website right here at Unity Fort Worth. There are hundreds of hours of meditations on our website. The code is up there, plus the URL. But meditations focused on awareness, conscious breathing, embodiment, expanding the within, silent meditation, plus many morning pray-ins. And we have an in-person meditation at 9:30 on Sunday mornings that you can take advantage of too. A lot of people use meditation apps now. Some of you may. Insight Timer is a big one. I think there's even a group here that gets together at the same time and does Insight Timer. The beauty of those apps is you can really customize everything. You got 5 minutes? You got 10 minutes? Yes, I want 5 minutes. Do I want bells? Do I want music? Do I want it guided? Do I want it silent? You can make all of these wonderful choices. So I just encourage you to keep up those practices, even if you just have 5 minutes. Well, most of you have probably heard of positive psychology. It's the branch of psychology that has as its primary focus the strengths and virtues and talents that contribute to our lives, to successful functioning, and to enable individuals and communities to flourish. One of the simplest definitions I found, though, of course, is the scientific study of what makes life worth living. That sounds pretty good, doesn't it? As you can imagine now, in that branch of psychology, there are tons of research studies. If you look it up online, you'll be sent to all kinds of websites and academic journals, et cetera. And many of them are happiness studies. So again, there are lots of variables for happiness. However, I wanted to talk about these 3 points that the author Lewis Richmond, who wrote the book Aging as a Spiritual Practice, which is a fantastic little book, but he points out that in many happiness studies, they identify 3 main factors: gratitude, generosity, and reframing difficult situations. We'll take each one. Oh, I grabbed some gratitude quotes from Unity co-founder Myrtle Fillmore for today. She wrote, "The practice of giving thanks should be observed in the home every day of the year, not just on the national holiday." Well, of course, we know that. As I said, we know that. We talk about gratitude and we practice it. But I don't know about you, but I still like the fact that we have a day set aside specifically for this purpose. I like to envision people all across the land stopping and counting their blessings. Myrtle also wrote, "The Day of Thanksgiving is a day originally instituted in recognition of God as source of the nation's supply and prosperity, a day set apart as a special tribute of praise and gratitude to the great giver of all good." And I know all of us have had the experience of being grateful. You know, it fills the heart with thanksgiving, and it changes how we look at ourselves, other people, and situations. I have read where it said that it might be difficult to give thanks for all things, but as Paul in the Bible tells us, to give thanks in all things, and especially when you're in the midst of situations. The third factor is generosity. Glad I looked back. Took a couple of quotes from the Bible. From Timothy 6:18, "They are to do good, to be rich in good works, generous and ready to share." And from Proverbs 11:25, "A generous person will be enriched, and one who gives water will get water." But research does show that those who share their gifts of time, talent, and treasure are happier. I know each of us have felt that as well when we're generous to a friend or a stranger, or we support an organization whose mission we believe in. Often we get just as much as the giver as the receiver does. It is an exchange, and it lets us be generous with our praise and encouragement and all of the things that we specifically have. We get that feeling and knowledge that we're giving back and we're sharing. And of course, we're following the teachings, the spiritual teachings of Jesus and other spiritual founders and leaders, as we discovered through our past 8 weeks studying other religions. In Christianity, of course, we're following the second commandment that Jesus gave: love your neighbor. Also, the golden rule is in here, isn't it? Treating others as we want to be treated. And by the way, generosity includes being generous with yourself, too. And it might be as simple as giving yourself some extra rest and relaxation, and especially during the holidays, not pushing all the time. We're also generous with ourselves when we forgive ourselves for some small mistake we might have made. We let it go, and we're kind and generous to ourselves. And the final thing, besides gratitude and generosity, making a person happy, is reframing difficult times. Reframing, of course, is just changing our attitude or our stance about some experience. You know, you can ask yourself, how might I look at that experience differently? How can I be happier and more peaceful about it. What level of consciousness have I been viewing this experience this whole time? From my ego consciousness, maybe feeling like a helpless victim, or from my Christ consciousness, meaning our highest nature. And when we come from our highest nature, we remember the values that we hold so dear: peace, willingness to forgive, kindness, compassion. And it is possible to grow and change our thoughts, beliefs, and feelings. The first place, of course, to start is awareness, right? We've got to be aware of our thoughts, because we can't change anything unless we're aware, right? We can't change past events. As much as we would like to sometime, we cannot go back and change those events. But what we can change is our understanding about that experience. And we can change our point of view that maybe could possibly have contributed to the misunderstanding or the miserable state that you have yourself into. Or perhaps we're just at a state now that we have grown spiritually and emotionally that we want to feel differently, and we want to reframe those experiences. I'll give you an example that happened to me during my last year of work, which was a few years ago, working for money anyway. I was in conflict with this person. We were in major conflict, and it never happened to me in my workplace, at least not to this extent. I felt very fortunate, but we were totally at different ends. And every time, before I would go into the office of this person, I would say, okay, I'm going to let it go. It's fine. I'm going to do my job, da-da-da-da. And every time I came out, I was either crying or upset, mad. I was mad, I felt thrown under the bus. I felt maligned. I was hurt also. It was a terrible situation. So what I did was leave the situation because I could. Not everyone has that opportunity. But I knew I had to work on forgiveness because I was having not good thoughts about this whole situation and that person. So, of course, I started working with my spiritual principles, with prayer and meditation, and I would think that I had it conquered, let's say, probably more like surrender, but in any case, and then something would come up, and I'd be upset all over again, and I realized I haven't forgiven. I haven't. And it happened several times. And then one day, when I was in meditation, trying not to think about anything, of course, the word compassion came to me. It was kind of like a flash, and I could even see the word. You ever see words written out? And after that meditation, I went, well, I wonder who I need to be more compassionate with. Is it myself? Is it someone in my life? And then all of a sudden, this name popped up to me, and I went, yeah, that's it. And I came from compassion. And I started thinking about this person was certainly doing the best that they could under the circumstances. They wanted to be successful just like me, Underneath, I'm sure a nice person has a nice family. Used to be a little fun when I knew her previously. Anyway, compassion, compassion, compassion. And one day it was gone. I mean, gone. I knew the day that those feelings were gone when I thought, hey, I might run into so-and-so. And if I do, it'd be good to have a chat. We live in the same town. It'd be good. I like her. And that was quite a transformation for me. So, forgiveness is one of those things that sometimes it could be instant, I suppose, but it takes some work. So, we talked earlier about the need to keep our spiritual practices during the holidays, no matter how busy we get. I also wanted to remind you that it's really important to keep any physical activity that you might regularly do, no matter how busy you get. Try not to put exercise on the back burner. And it's not just because of the extra calories, but it's an excellent way to manage stress. Well, speaking of stress, one of my greatest challenges is I stress out about the house, getting it picked up and cleaned and keeping it that way because I love order. I love order, but I've had to give up a lot of order. Now I'm learning to love disorder. But I'm trying anyway. But it always takes me so long, too, to get it done. And the reason I'm telling you this really mundane fact about myself is that I read an article in Real Simple magazine that I'm going to try to emulate this woman, and so I wanted to share it with you. It was written by a woman who had the same thing, hard to clean house, and she had a family, and to keep the house picked up, especially when people are coming over. You can live in your mire if it's just you, or I can, but, you get stressed out if people are coming over. So she says she's given up all of that pressure, and she's even stopped saying the phrase that we say when someone pops over or we don't have very much time before they come over. You're going to help me on this one. They ring the doorbell, you go to the door and you could go, hi. You open the door, you turn around and say, okay, let's hear it. My house is such a mess. I'm sorry for the mess. I don't usually live like this. Well, try not to lie. But not only that, but she has evolved to the idea that she is doing people a favor with her messy house. This is what I want to emulate. You're saying, well, how could that be? She says people can feel better about themselves and think, well, at least my house isn't as messy as Pamela's. It's my gift this year, and I'm going to try to give it and give it and give it. I suggest it. Thank you for laughing. I love when people can turn situations into humor, though. I believe that the power of laughter is one of the greatest powers. It should be one of the 12 powers. Zeal is one, but one of the best things that we can do and experience. And there's several things about laughter. Well, it's just good for you, right? You relax. You can't be tense. And it helps us heal. It brings down our blood pressure, brings down our heart rate, slows us down to the present moment. To me, that's the most important thing. You're not thinking about the past and the future when you're laughing. You're just perhaps your most authentic self. So that's one good thing. The second good thing about laughter is that it can change our perspective and see things in a different light. Because that's why jokes are funny, right? Because two things or more are connected or juxtaposed in a way that we're not expecting. For example, did you hear about the stranger that came to church? Well, a man that the minister nor the congregation knew came to church one Sunday, and after the service, he asked the minister to pray for his hearing, if he would be available to pray for his hearing. And the minister said, absolutely. So the minister put his hands on the man's ears, and he gave a very long and passionate and heartfelt prayer. And then he said to the man, how's your hearing now? And the guy looked a little puzzled, and he said, well, it's not till Wednesday. I'm on a roll. Maybe I should just get up here and tell jokes. I've got another one later. But I think when we do connect things in unusual ways, it arouses our curiosity. Get some of our creative juices flowing, Maybe we could even tap into some of our passions by laughter. There's even laughter yoga. I don't know if you've ever experienced it. I only have once, but it's kind of fun. And the third thing about laughter, though, is it helps dissolve differences. There's some research that suggests that people who laugh together like each other more. And I can kind of see that, can't you, in a way? It's often said that when two people laugh, they can be strangers, but their world overlaps for a little bit of a moment. And when that happens, our defenses are lowered, and the best of us can come out. So I can see. Or have you ever been having a fight with someone about something kind of mundane, your partner maybe, and then one of you just breaks out laughing because you're having this stupid argument about taking out the trash or something. And so laughter can help us resolve differences too. My favorite quote about laughter comes from Benjamin Franklin. Trouble knocked at the door, but hearing laughter, hurried away. Isn't that great? That's a great one. I'm glad I found that one. So let's be thankful for being lighthearted. And let's give thanks in advance for what we desire, for the Thanksgiving that we desire. Let's give thanks for it in advance. So we can be like the football coach in a small high school who was known for his optimism. He got his team in the locker room for a pre-game pep talk. And he says, okay, guys, here we are. We're unbeaten. We're untied. We're unscored upon and ready for our first game of the season. That's optimism, isn't it? We could emulate that. Well, before we go into meditation, I'd like to share a few more tips about surviving the holidays with laughter, perhaps, and peace, sanity, trying to keep our sense of humor, perhaps. Here's the scenario we're trying to avoid. When Uncle Fred, I didn't know anyone here named Fred, so that's why I chose Fred. But if you're Fred, it's just an example. Uncle Fred's had several glasses of wine, and he begins to talk about politics, or that quirky church you go to, or some other subject that you do not want to discuss. What do you do? Well, we're going to talk about 4 tips. The first one is actually predates that scenario, because I'm thinking, if you're really getting together with family and friends and you know them pretty well, why not have a conversation? I had envisioned a Zoom call where you say, hey, we're getting together, we're looking forward to it. I know we feel there's some differences here about politics, especially now and all of that, but I'm just hoping I could get some buy-in on just really remembering why we're getting together, to enjoy one another and to not bring up controversial topics. You get the gist. And, it's a possibility it might work, and and also you might build at least some people, to that point of view that might be a little bit easier to handle. The last 3 tips are from retired Unity minister Tom Shepard. He wrote about these in Unity magazine several years ago, and I really like them. I saved them. So tip number 2, if that does happen, Uncle Fred scenario, try to change the subject to something more neutral. I mean, we all know this, but if you think about it maybe beforehand. If you're with your family and old friends, you have had Thanksgivings before. Tell a good story. You remember that Thanksgiving we all met at the lake and something. Or remember what our grandmother always did at Thanksgiving? Something neutral. Even the movie. Have you seen that new film? Just make sure it's not a controversial one. So that's one thing you can do. Try to move to a neutral subject. Number 3, you can remind yourself that this is an opportunity for you to stay on your spiritual path. Just consider it practice. All good skills take practice, don't they? You may just have to let it go. Look at Uncle Fred. Visualize the divinity within him that is within everyone else and you. And you might just have to let it go, bless him, and then move on. And the 4th one, this is my very favorite one. If none of those things work out, slip out. Go and purchase a pint of ice cream and eat it all by yourself in your car. I say bring on the holidays. We're ready, aren't we? We're ready. We're ready to be happier, to take good care of ourselves and others, to share our bounty, to give thanks for a life, not without difficulties, but knowing that we have the power and grace to find the good that is back of everything. We are ready to be the Thanksgiving we desire. So let us prepare for meditation now. Put your feet on the floor if you can, and if you want to, you can close your eyes or lower your gaze. Take a few deep breaths and then just breathe naturally. As we come together in consciousness, we release any worry and be right here, fully present. For everything, there is a season, and this is a season of gratitude. With the spirit of love and appreciation, we join our hearts and give thanks that the presence of Spirit is with us and is us. We affirm that we are an essential part of divine oneness. And as we focus on the Christ within, our core, our perfect blueprint, we are aware of divine possibilities. And in fact, we claim that all is possible with God mind, and it feels so good. And we envision the good that is unfolding now. We give thanks that we are now and forever attuned to Source. Our dreams and desires can be expressed as we embrace divine ideas and follow them with creativity, courage, and confidence. And we claim the power to choose joyful and abundant lives. Emerson said that everyone is the inlet and may become the outlet for all there is in God. Imagine for a moment, you are the inlet of divine light and love. And an outlet for expressing that love, compassion, acceptance of others. We express our generosity by our kindness, by praising and encouraging others. In this season of gratitude, we are grateful and amazed at the beauty and goodness all around us. And we give thanks for the flow of abundance in our lives. Know these words for yourself. In the spirit of gratitude, I am blessed, and I am a blessing. I am blessed, and I am a blessing. Immersed in this divine presence, we are ready for the upcoming holiday. We are ready to embody the thanksgiving we desire. And as we slowly bring ourselves back to this time and place, we once again say thank you.
For thy gracious blessings, for thy wondrous works, for thy loving kindness, we give thanks, O Lord. For thy gracious blessings, for thy wondrous works, for thy loving kindness, we give thanks, O Lord. For thy gracious blessings, for thy wondrous works, for thy loving kindness, we give thanks, O Lord.
I'm expecting some visitors here. The reason I'm here, here they come. Hey, good morning. Oh, to have that energy, huh? Yeah. Welcome. I'm so glad you've joined. Well, Jeanette, tell us what's been going on.
So during this month, we have been doing the exact same thing you've been doing in our classes. And what we've been doing is we've been writing what we're thankful for on cards, just like you did. And so now we're going to add our cards to yours. Yay, I think we filled it.
Thank you so much. And I wanted to ask you guys if you'd like to share what you wrote or sometime, or what you're thankful for at this time of the year. And if you wouldn't mind, oh, yeah, I got some takers over here. Would you say your name first, though? Because I don't know all your names. I know, but, and I bet the people in the audience don't either. Okay.
Congo. I in kindergarten and I thank you for all the teachers there.
Oh, thanks for all the teachers. And we'll come back too if you have something else you're thankful for.
My name is Felix. I am in the second grade and I am 7 years old, and I am thankful for my mom and my dad and my mom's Christmas tree and my dad's Nintendo Switch controller. My name is Finn, and I'm in third grade. I'm thankful for my family and how God made me smart.
Hello, my name is Matthias, and I'm in the third grade.
I'm thankful for my mom and my dad that take really good care of me, and soccer.
My name is Baylor, and I'm thankful for my dog Pearl, my friends, my family, my house, water, and food.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Does anyone else have you thought of anything else you'd like to tell us you're grateful for? All right, let's all do it. We can do it quickly. Yeah,
I thank you for everything.
Oh, well, that's great. That sums it up. Did anybody else want to? Oh, we'll come back to
I'm thankful for our world. My turn now. I am thankful for what this building's roof looks like. I am thankful for people that can be funny. And also oxygen.
Did you have anything else? You gave us a wonderful list. Thank you. Well, you know what I'm thankful for? I'm really thankful for you all and for coming in and sharing. Aren't you? Well, thank you, and have a wonderful Thanksgiving. You want to stay? You can stay as far as I'm concerned. See you later. See you in a little bit. See you later, guys.
It is time for the love offerings. So if you would like to contribute to this community and what we are about, you can do so now as our ushers come around. You may drop your tithes and love offerings in, or simply place your hand over the bag to bless the contributions. For those online, we post a link for you to make a donation. You may also go to our website to do the same. In whatever way you choose to contribute, we embody gratitude as we bless our love offerings together. Ready? Divine love flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I am grateful.
We come around to take our places at the table, a moment to remember and reflect upon our wealth. Here's to loving friends and family, here's to being able to gather here together in good company and health.
And may we be released from all those feelings that would harm us. May we have the will to give them up and get them gone. For heavy are the satchels full of anger and false promise. May we have the strength to put them down. know we have grown afraid of, and only what we do not choose to hear.
May the light of love be shining deep within your spirit. May the torch of mercy clear the path and show the way.
May the horn of plenty sound so everyone can hear it. May the light of love be with you every day.
As we bless our daily bread and take our day's libation, may we be reminded of the lost and broken souls, the free and the homeless that we have in every nation. May we fill each empty cup full.
May nothing ever come between or threaten to divide us. May we never take for granted all the gifts that we receive. Being ever mindful of the unseen hands that guide us and the miracles that cause us to believe. May the light of love be shining deep within your spirit. May the torch of mercy clear the path and show the way. May the horn of plenty sound so everyone can hear it. May the light of love be with you every day. May the light of love be shining deep within your spirit. May the torch of mercy clear the path and show the way. May the horn of plenty sound so everyone can hear it. May the light of love be with you every day.
May the horn of plenty sound so everyone can hear it. May the light of love be with you. May the light of love be with you.
May the light of love be with you every day. Happy Thanksgiving!
Thank you for the gift of your time with us today. I hope you will join us for fellowship after the service in Johnson Hall. Our prayer chaplain today is Thane, and she will be right here for anyone who would like personal prayer after the service. Remember, today's fundraiser committee is at 12:45, and I hope to see all of you next Saturday at 10 a.m. for our church decoration party. I behold a wonderful week of joy and gratitude for all of us. Please rise to sing the peace song, followed by the prayer for protection.
Let there be peace on earth and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, family all are we. Let me walk with my family in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth and let it begin with me.
The light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, and I am.